Nobody's coming to save you. So you build and grind and you rise. From struggle to breakthrough. From pressure to legacy. These are raw, unfiltered stories of entrepreneurs, leaders, and dreamers who refuse to quit. Welcome to No Rescue. Sponsored by Prado. No Rescue family, welcome back to another episode. I am stoked about this one because I have somebody on here who I consider a friend, absolute gangster, killer. We've known each other now for about 2 years, on and off, but today it was a pleasure because we were able to kind of go and see kind of the HQ of everything that you're building. You've built incredible things. You sold your RV company. You're now the owner, co-founder of BlackJet Ventures, which is essentially an umbrella with everything else you're doing, right? And we kind of went over all that in the in today's day in the life. But dude, Jason, thank you for being here, bro.
Oh, thank you, man. Like I'm super excited to be here. Very honored to be here. I know you put a lot of work and time and energy and find like money into this podcast, and it means a lot that you have me on here. So I'm very, very, very thankful.
Absolutely, you've always been somebody to me that has been a real killer, and I say that because that's important, especially with where we live.
Right.
There's a lot of like, just frankly, non-players, like phonies, right? And I feel like real players always recognize real players, but I think above and beyond that, you're just a humble dude, bro. Like people would never know like the story of what you've built, and you never would guess on, on how much money you've made just by how you act. And that's something that means a lot to me.
No, and thank you. Like I was brought up by very, very amazing parents, and which we can kind of get into a little bit, but like they had a lot of money, but they always said like they had a lot of money, and so, but like money was never important, and so I've never made it important, if that makes sense. I've never like people have all this flashy stuff, and I'm like, man, I was like 3 years old seeing this stuff, and it doesn't mean anything to me. Like I'm more interested in who you are and how you operate than what car you drive. Like anybody can go lease a whatever. Like it doesn't take a lot, right? But like it's who you are, how you operate, and what you built is like who I'm more interested in. And it's maybe because I've never really needed or wanted anything from people that I'm genuinely interested in people. Like my like battery recharge is like not going to Mexico and sitting by myself on a beach. It's going around people, which is kind of funny because complete opposite as my wife. My wife gets around
great
people.
Balancers,
my wife gets around people and it's just like energy's just sucking out of her. She's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I love it. It's the greatest thing of my life. Like I was just talking to her about going to an event on the way down here, and she's like, oh, like if I have to go, and I was like, you don't have to go. I'm definitely going. She's like, okay, that's your thing. But it's been amazing childhood, amazing parents that teach me like that some of the stuff just doesn't matter. And like, just be you, right?
Well, dude, I want to kind of, because with this, we got to know a lot about business, what you do, kind of how you think. Like that dialogue between you and Vince was incredible. But we really want to dive into really how the entrepreneur thinks. Right. Because we both know, like, to do what successful people do, it's not actually doing what they do, it's thinking how they think, right? Because when you can think how they think, everything else, is dictated by that, right? And so I want to start at the very beginning, right? You talk about your parents, like let's dive into little Jason. Like, what was your childhood like? What did your parents do? Let's talk about that and those early entrepreneurial lessons that kind of developed you into today.
Man, I've had a super, super blessed to have the childhood I had. Very unique. And I mean, some people are going to say like, oh, your dad and mom gave you everything and blah, blah, blah. Like what they did give me was every night was a seminar. Every night was reading books and about business and life. And like, I'm not saying that like it was like a militaristic, crazy, like weird. It was just like everything. Like I had an argument at school or like I was talking negative about a teacher. My dad would start teaching me lessons about negativity and things like that. My dad's been an entrepreneur since he was 14 years old.
Nice.
Back in the day when age didn't really matter a whole lot when you like skip school and stuff. He started a speed shop when he was young, ended up racing in the NHRA, which is cool because I just literally talked to my mom and she's like, we're going down to the races in Vegas right now. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool that you guys get to do that. Like full circle, 50 something years later. But so he started entrepreneur and then ended up closing that. But then he joined, and it was going to laugh, like he joined Amway.
Oh, wow.
And so my dad was actually one of the largest distributors in Amway in history.
Oh, because he's a salesman then. That's awesome.
And it's crazy because like what Amway did for our family was stuff that we can't eat. Like it would just seem weird to talk about. Like the people we got to meet, like, and hanging out with the DeVos family that owns Orlando Magic, like all like on a like literally first cell phone back then and like big briefcase, but like like hanging out with them. Like
you were close.
Oh yeah, like literally remember touring around with George Foreman in our coach, and I didn't think anything of it besides the guy was an ex-boxer. I didn't really know anything, right? Like going to the White House and meeting with the first Bush family and then the Reagan family. Like we got personal Christmas cards for them because of just who my dad was. Like, it's weird. Like I still go to this day and meet people, and they see my last name and like, are you Randy and Valerie's son? And I'm like, yes. Wow. Like, oh, back in 1990, whatever, I was at a meeting and this happened and that happened, blah, blah, blah. Like they still hold the world record for the largest business meeting ever held. They sold out the Georgia Dome at 97,000 people. And they were literally pushing people away from that event back in the 90s.
And what event was that? Was that
so Amway? That was just one of their Amway events.
Oh man.
Dude, so like it's crazy because like people nowadays have a hard time getting, 1,000 people in a room.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's weird because like we would have events like at the Delta Center, first version Delta Center, and we'd sell it out, and it would be like a normal. I remember as like probably a 10-year-old kid walking out and introducing my mom and dad in front of say 16, 17,000 people, and that was a small meeting. And my dad would have about 100 of those every single month. The first Saturday of every single month, he had 100 locations of those seminars. Like the logistics of this has to be bizarre because they had no cell phones, no internet.
I'm just thinking about like distribution of like marketing and like.
He had 3 ladies that worked in our office, and then that was it. Like it's just bizarre. Like one time they had an event in Salt Lake, and there's no way to track anything besides on paper and faxing things, right? Yeah. They sold so many tickets to the event. They sold out the Delta Center, the Huntsman Center, and the Salt Palace all in one weekend. And it was supposed to only be at the Delta Center. Yeah. But they had oversold the event. So my dad was like explaining the story of like getting off stage at the Delta Center, hopping in a limo, running over to this like Salt Palace, popping up with like just this crazy orchestra of things. And they'd have like, we had our own band that traveled with us. We had semis full of our own equipment, like tour bus. Like we had all the, it was the craziest freaking childhood. Like I've been in almost every state on a tour bus. Yeah. Traveled the country. Like,
so were you like homeschooled then? Like, is it?
No, we went, that was pretty much, my mom and dad would literally pick us up from school in the bus. Like, oh wow. Parked out front of the school last day of school. And we wouldn't come back until about the first week before school started. And then my mom and dad were gone about 300 days a year, which is a lot. But I mean, for like my whole life, like 17 years that they were grinding out every single day, all day. Like we didn't take a family vacation, but we got to travel all over the world, which is super cool. Like I've been to private islands. I've been flown around all over the world in like the Orlando Magic's jets. Like we've been all over the world.
And your mom was part of the business too.
Yeah,
like
my mom and dad did everything together. They spoke together. They built together. They did everything together. It's just super cool to like learn from them, right? But they taught us so many crazy lessons. Like I'm the only, like I would say like I probably had we lived in a big, beautiful home. It was 20,000 square, like a gorgeous house. But my mom and dad built the entire house strictly for business. We had an event center in the house. We it's crazy. Like we had all of these things designed for business. And so like, that's just been my dad. And like, everybody calls me Randy Jr. So like everything I'm thinking of is like always like that, right? Like I'm like, Mikkel, my wife, like we're going on vacation. Like we're going to California and I can meet with a bunch of clients while we're there. And she's like, no. And I'm like, maybe because my dad did that. Like, I'm just used to like going all these places, my mom and dad being in meetings. But so super, super unique. Like I had a time clock clocking in and out. Literally, you clock in and out of jobs. And we got paid a certain wage. And
so they were essentially treated you like employees.
Oh yeah. Like we like I remember having a check register, which I don't even know if they have them anymore, but like I remember having a check register and my mom and dad would like account for all of our money there. So like it was our visual bank account because you couldn't log into a bank account back in the day, right? So it's like figuring like my mom and dad like, oh, you want a candy bar? Like I remember it being 48 cents at Walmart. Yeah, you want a candy bar? Yeah. 48 cents off the check register. It's your money. We're not paying it for you. Yeah. And so like they would fly on their plane. We would fly commercial. Like,
see you there.
Literally. They'd be like, hey, just because your last name is Haugen doesn't get you a seat on the plane. They would fly with business like, people. But like that was just like, we were like, hey, keep doing whatever you're doing because we got to have like the byproduct of just this epic life.
100%.
And yeah, like my mom and dad were gone and like that was interesting in itself, and grew up with mostly my sister and grandparents and babysitters and everything like that. But like they taught us just work.
Yeah.
Right. And like ever since I was a kid and even in like junior high school, I just wanted to work and I wanted to be my dad. And so I started, I got out of high school, started a couple entrepreneurial things, detailing business, didn't work out, hated washing cars, like all these different things. And then I got into network marketing because I'm like, hey, mom and dad did network marketing, I'll do network marketing. That was great. I grew that. Was the number one earner in the company, had the biggest group in the company. That was awesome. I started to learn the new network marketing. Like my mom and dad built like Amway wasn't this new like Instagram, like social media selling products, and it was started to turn more retail and like honestly just more geared toward like beauty and women and like this thing. And like the company started to turn in like gut health. And I'm like, I don't really want to sit here and talk about people's crap every day. Like that's just not fun for me. And so, but what happened is the company sold and I lost everything overnight. And so I had just gotten married to my first wife and I lost everything. Like I literally was like, I have no income. We have nothing. Cause like you have to spend a lot of money to make money, to have the lifestyle and to like make money in that. So I remember making a phone call to my best friend Deuce and was just like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like I just lost everything. I have I dropped out of high school or dropped out of college. I graduated high school, dropped out of college. Really didn't know what to do. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do, but like, I got you, bro. And I'm like, dude, I don't need you. He's like, no, I got you. Come basically sweep my floors. So I started sweeping floors. Like it's crazy because I'm speaking on stages all over the country, Canada, like all over the place, being this entrepreneur. And then I'm literally sweeping his floors in his cabinet shop. Yeah. But it was hard because our company sold. And when the company sold, a new network marketing company bought us and they held me on the pedestal of being this top rank, but I had no income. I'm like, well, if you want to make me this top rank, then pay me this top rank. And we kind of had a little bit of battle there. And so I just kept sweeping his floors, and then we ended up growing and scaling his cabinet shop into more construction and more flipping, and this bigger and bigger and bigger until several years down the road, that we entered the RV business. And it was honestly just a conversation with my dad of like, hey, these guys hit me up. They're selling, like they're going out of business basically. So if we want to buy it, he's like, I'll invest with you, but I don't really want to do it. But I've always wanted to work with my dad. Yeah. And like, he's one of the OGs of Costa Vida, like him and all those guys, like the founders were in my dad's Amway group. Oh, wow. Like if I went and told you all the companies in Utah that were in my dad's Amway group, you would be shocked. Like pretty much everybody. Dogs. Yeah. And like my dad is a big mentor to people. It's still by this day of like the other day I beat my little ticket to go to fly on Delta, and the lady looked up and she's like, are you one of the twins of Randy and Valerie? Are you? And I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, back in like 2000. I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, I held you. People still go, I held you when you were a baby. It's kind of weird. Cool. Yeah, exactly. Like, okay. But yeah, so then came in the RV business. So I always want to work with my dad, and then him be a mentor with me, and kind of the rest is history. Sorry, that was kind of long.
Dude,
long
this is gas, bro. And like, I want to take us back a few because so many questions, right? Like, and I think first off, so you mentioned, so you're a twin. I didn't know that.
I'm a twin.
So it's just you and your sister.
No, me and my brother. So I have an older brother. Or an older sister who's the oldest. She's 40. My mom and dad had us all late. They waited 10 years to have kids. My dad had me when he was 40. Okay. My mom was 38, which is crazy. Like, I mean, that's super late in life to have twins and healthy twins. And we were big twins. Like we were over 7 pounds each. Oh, wow. Big twins. But so I have an older sister. She's an entrepreneur, owns a grocery store, does a bunch of stuff. Actually owns a bin store. Shout out. She got inspiration from me. Nice. So she started a bin store in Canada. Yeah. Now we're still trying to get him back to the US, but we'll see how it goes. And then I have an older brother who is, used to work for me at the RV dealership. And then he is the parts director at our big conglomerate, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. Nice. And then my other brother is running RV dealerships, and then me. And
then, so you, the other RV dealership brother, that's your twin?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So I have two brothers in the RV business still.
Okay. So, yeah. And are you and your twin the youngest of the four?
We're the babies, yep.
These are the babies. Awesome. Yep. And so a few questions then, because it's obviously clear based on your siblings and everything like that there were clear impressions of entrepreneurship early on from your parents.
Yep.
Was there any resentment with that? Like, you know, obviously like it sounds like coming, I would say the way you talk about your parents, it sounds like no, right? But like, I think what's awesome about what you're explaining is like, you know, they taught you a lot about entrepreneurship, which frankly is just grinding, you know, like there's no secret. This idea of balance, we both know it's not real, you know? So like how did they balance that with you as parents? Do your siblings talk the same way that you talk about your parents?
I would say my brother, my twin and I, my my brother, I would say we have a very different perspective than my sister.
Yeah.
Because my sister was born and basically her whole like elementary, junior high, high school and beyond was business.
Yeah.
And she had like zero, like my mom and dad never went to sports, never went to prom, never saw them. Like, so I would say my sister has some feelings and she's kind of expressed those.
Yeah.
When my brother and my mom and dad got out of Amway in 2008. And so we had a lot more time with them. And so that was when I was in junior high. Yeah, around junior high.
Okay.
And so we had a lot more time with them. But me, like, I think I'm such like that dog mentality that like, and it's hard for me to get away from it. And like,
never held
that's
it
probably why like maybe first divorce, because I'm like so like on all the time. Like, I just want my dad. But like it was crazy. It was so super cool because like my mom was like, dad's grinding. Yeah. I'm doing my thing. Like she'd cook dinner. Dad would sometimes be home, but like dad's always like, always wanted like the complete opposite of what people say right now. Like my dad was always on the phone at dinner, like never let us talk. Like everything was busy. I mean, he'd be on the phone till 10 o'clock at night sometimes. Yeah. But it's just like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. And like they're like, if my mom always says, still to this day, if it is to be, it's up to me. And so like I've literally made that like my mantra of life. Like, and like later we'll get into the story of like those, if it is to be, it's up to me. Like moments of, hey, you have to make it happen. Yeah. And being an entrepreneur and an owner of a business is completely different than being the number one or number two guy in a company. Yeah. Very, very different.
100%.
Right?
100%.
You have there's no one above you. And like, that's still where like, and that's like, it's been interesting because Vince has never been in this situation, right? We have him, we talking on this podcast partner, when we were at the office. And he's like, yeah, it sucks. And I was like, yeah, dude, it sucks.
Welcome, bro.
Yeah, like you're the last.
Risk, liability, like a whole level of ownership that people don't know.
Like there's no one above us, right? Like we are the ones that we have to make all the decisions and like we have to make what's best for the company, right? Yep. And so that is but like I saw that so in my dad, it's like second nature for me. Yeah. And like I saw him so good with people and everybody loved him. And like he's so well known for who he is and like how he operated than ever amount of money. No one has ever mentioned about the amount of money that they made. It was always, oh, your dad impacted me. Your mom impacted me. I remember listening to them speak in 1997 at this event and blah, 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 blah. Like, so Les Brown was at that place in the 97,000 people. Yeah. Yep. If you watch him on YouTube, his I Believe I Can Win speech was at my mom and dad's event.
Oh, that was your parents' event?
Yeah. So it pans to this massive crowd, super distorted and like 90s footage. That's
awesome.
Yeah, and like we've had the chance of like, it's super cool to have that as an example of just grinding. Yeah. My wife could probably say, hey, you have a lot of trauma you need to talk to people about. And I say, I have a lot of like
lessons.
I was just nuggets. It's like, you got to make it happen, right? Like Costa Vida didn't happen overnight. It was a lot of work, right? Like my dad owned construction companies, mortgage companies, real estate, like commercial real estate. He built about 500 homes a year. Like 40 different big businesses, right? And then Amway was doing probably $1 billion a year, or I don't know, because you couldn't track. There's no internet. Yeah. Like, I don't know. My dad's like, I was like, how much sales you do? He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no like KPI. Yeah, that's it. I just know money's coming in the bank.
Like, hey, money's coming in the bank account, and sure, I don't know. A lot of it was cash. So I was like, I don't know what happened. So it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
This podcast is sponsored by Prado. With Prado, taste comes first, but trust follows. It's clean, it's grass-fed, and it's made with standards you can feel. This is protein for people who expect more. Bougie, not basic.
So you've learned a lot of these lessons as a child. Like you obviously had an incredible mentorship as parents throughout your life. Like what was when did your parents start to change in your mind from just being parents to actual entrepreneurs? Or did you always have that?
I think it was always have that. And like, so me and my dad, we sold the dealerships last year and, I was CEO owner. Like my dad couldn't even tell you what paint was on the wall. Like, he was like, I have no idea what you're doing. And so I've actually had to learn to have a dad instead of a business partner.
That's interesting.
Because everything was always so much business. And like, I don't ever remember having like those, deep conversations. Like my mom and dad were always there, but it was kind of more over the phone. Yeah. Like, hey, and like back in the day when we didn't have that, like they would send us postcards and they'd be oh, we're over here in like Europe. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, we're in South America. I'm like, cool. Like whatever. And like, if they happened to fly over like the Ogden airport, they'd land and get fuel. And like, they would call our driver and they come pick us up, and then we go to the airport and say hi to him, and we come back. Like, so I've had to, I would say, learn more of like, hey dad,
Interesting.
hey mom. Like my mom is just, she's the sweetest guy. Like she's the sweetest lady, man. I've always had a fantastic relationship with her. I'm a total mama's boy. I've definitely had to learn the dynamic with my dad.
Yeah.
Of like, even at his like birthdays, and like now I'm like, hi.
Love you, Dad.
Love you. Yeah. Like, how are you?
Yeah.
What have you been doing? And like, you know, I want to talk what I'm doing, right? But
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like I want to just talk like, I want to have that relationship with him. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's been interesting. We spent a lot of time together and we've done some cool stuff. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just, it's been an interesting dynamic.
So this is a good shift then to kind of some of the things you mentioned. Like, how has this affected your relationships? Right.
It's first relationship obviously did not go too well. But she's great. Like sounds probably weird, but like I love my ex-wife to death, love her husband to death. Like,
yeah.
I almost feel like her kids are my kid. Like we have this big, weird, meshed up family. Like,
yeah.
she comes over for Christmas with my in-laws. Like we're all this one big happy family.
Oh, wow.
And like I'm even friends with her in-laws. Like I love them to death. Like that took a lot of time to make sure that's great. Like I have 99 problems. My ex-wife is not one of them.
Yeah.
Right? Like great, never argue, never fight. Everything's perfect. But like with my current wife, it's definitely like a learning process. I would, especially with kids. And like, it's been this battle back and forth between in my mind of like what I feel like I need to be and like what my wife feels like I need to be. So like, we're just trying to, make sure that's good. But it just comes down to communication.
Yeah.
Like I talk a lot about culture and talk a lot about, like I used to kind of, when I sold the dealerships, even before, like obviously I'm a podcast Culture Camp and I've spoken on stage a bunch of times about culture, but like I jokingly always say like no one goes to marriage counseling because they have too good of communication.
Yeah.
It's generally like, I don't know what she's thinking. It's not like, you know what? I know everything my wife's thinking. Right. And so a lot of it just breaks down there. And so we just make sure we have very clear communication. And like I always say, like what I think I have to do and what you think I have to do are two different things. There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Right. But like, if I think I have to like miss a soccer game because of XYZ, then just let me be me because I feel fulfilled and satisfied in that. Right.
Yeah.
Maybe because my mom and dad missed everything, I don't really see that it's a big deal. But like there's a point in me, like I want my kids to watch me work.
Yeah.
One thing my mom and dad did is so it's kind of funny. Like everybody says your mom and dad gave you everything. I'm actually statistically, like straight up stat, like I'm statistically worse off than
100%.
first generation entrepreneur,
100%,
right?
100%.
Like the second generation is usually what kills the business.
You're exactly right. Yep.
And third's even worse.
Yep.
They taught me to work so hard, but I love it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I fills me up is working and seeing like, and like moving things forward and like building businesses.
Are all your siblings like that? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
My sister probably more so. My older brother, he's a very, very good, like just get stuff done, but you got to tell him like, hey, do this, do that. He'll go do it. My twin brother, he's dabbled in entrepreneurship, had a corn dog truck, had a corn dog like retail store, like a restaurant, dabbled in that. But he's just a really good like number one, number two guy, right? And I would say me and my sister are more alike. That's like but my twin brother, like one of the hardest workers you ever meet in your life.
Yeah. But you
probably
have you been the most successful, I guess, financially in business in all your siblings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now my twin brother worked for us and then he left and then came back and worked for us and then left. So he kind of dabbled in and out. My older brother was always my parts manager, parts director forever. And that's why he got this good job at this new conglomerate.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's just, I feel like I'm a little bit of a freak. I live so much in the moment. Everything is super slow to me. And like, I live so much in the moment. Like I give the moment like what it needs to be. And like, I don't worry too much about stuff and like, which we can get like, I don't know. I just work and I'm like, I believe so much in myself, not to be like conceited, but like I have seen success on an insane level. And so it's like, I know it can happen. Yeah. And I know someone's going to be successful.
Yeah.
So I like literally full-fledged know and think it's going to be me, like with zero doubt. Yeah. And I think that I freak people out when I am like,
hey, well, that's honestly, it's that belief that I oftentimes is like the barrier that holds people back to even start.
Right.
Right. And you having that in spades is what's allowed you to build these multiple 8-9 figure businesses. Right. And so, and you're getting ready to build another one. Right.
Yeah.
And like, and you're barely 30. You know what I mean? And so let's kind of talk then about kind of the RV, right? I want to talk, because it sounds like that was the first 9-figure business you built, correct?
Yep.
And you just recently took an exit on that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, with this being No Rescue, we obviously have those moments of winning and it's always easy, but like talk to me about some of your struggles with that business. Like
when it was good, it was good. When it was bad, it was bad.
yeah.
Right? Like, so I bought the company in 2018, January 18, 2018. Took the company from 12 million the first year to like 13 and a half the second year to 65 the third year to 105 the fourth year.
Oh, wow.
And roughly about 100 to 110 million thereafter. And this is per year. This isn't total sales. This is per year. We bought more locations, did some really cool stuff. Great. The RV business is extremely complicated. We're 20 years behind the automotive industry. In 2018, Harvard Business Review wrote an article that the RV dealership was the hardest business in America to run, which totally believe it. Like we have 5 businesses with new, like different sales, finance, parts, service, used, all in one business or one rooftop that have 5 different P&Ls that are all fighting for, like, it's crazy. Like it's insane. So we technically had 9 locations, 40 businesses. Plus I had the only RV certified, like I was an RV certified trainer. Like I had my own school, so I could certify my own trainers.
Oh, interesting.
Like I was fully accredited by the RVTI. Then we had an insurance company. Then we had all this, it was just complicated. It was great when it was great, right? COVID definitely was the best thing to ever happen to the RV business.
Yeah.
And then the worst, right? We got lazy. We didn't pay attention to stuff. It wasn't as tight as we were. Like when our first 2 years in business, we were freaking machines, man. And it was cool because I got to watch how my dad did business for like 6 months. Because I was always a little too young when he built stuff. But then he literally worked at the dealerships with me every day. He drove all the way to South Salt Lake, like an hour each way. And was like, hey, this is how we're going to do this. I'm going to hold the financial meetings. And I was like learning from him. I'm like, man, you're a freaking animal.
Yeah.
And so then he basically did a 6 months time and then never saw him again, which is great. Like, super happy for him. But like, I remember we got like the money was just coming in like freaking Nile River. I remember we did like $14 million in a month. And I'm like, with insane margins. And I was like, we just made more money than I've ever made. Sick. Like, then started to get sloppy. And it's like, I remember when they'd say something that's like, oh, like this costs $100,000. I'm like, frick, it's a rounding error. Who gives a crap about $100,000? It gives $100,000. Yeah, that was stupid, you know? Then you start to think like, oh, we just spent $1.5 million on IT. What did we buy? Then like my payroll is almost $2.5 million a month. My fixed costs are around $4.5 million a month. All this crazy stuff is happening, but it's great because we have a bunch of revenue to hide it. The RV industry turned in 1 month. I went from selling 350 units basically in October to 100 units in November and never recovered.
Ooh.
So we had already purchased hundreds, if not maybe thousands of units. You can't reverse that.
Yeah.
We pay, interest rates went from 3.25% to 12%. I can't control that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was paying $700,000 a month in interest plus about $1 million. So I remember having a conversation in 2022, which was the last time I ever took a paycheck from the dealerships. Like, wow. And yeah. So, which is, I don't know, maybe this is too much.
Especially like this.
Bro, it was never made less than 6 figures in a month. 0. And so I remember having this conversation, like, because they're called curtailments in the RV industry, which are basically a principal payment you have to start paying on the trailers as they start to age. So I remember having a meeting of like, hey, cash, like it was November, December, January, February, having the meeting at the beginning of February. My brother was in charge of the inventory, my twin brother. I remember having a meeting and saying with our executive team, like, hey, when curtailments start to get pretty high, let me know, like we have to make some changes. Because in the winter, you don't pay those, but they stack up. My brother comes to me after me, he's like, hey, what is your definition of too high? And I was like, I don't know. What is it? He's like, it's $800,000 this month. And I'm like, we have to pay $800,000 principal plus another, like it was at times like 500,000 interest. And he's like, yes. I was like, no way. Like, so we did everything we could to dump the inventory. You're basically taking what you owe and just selling it at what you owe. So you're not necessarily making the money back. Because in theory, if I have a $100,000 rig, I paid $20,000 off, I still sell it for $100,000. I realize the $20,000 that I paid in as principal back, right? In theory, it's kind of like real estate. Yeah. But mine was real estate. Yeah. And we were just selling them what we owed. And it just started, everything, like cash flow just started to drain and drain. And we blew like, I don't know, man, me and my dad probably lost $20 million a year. Oh, man. Like my biggest regret is probably not claiming bankruptcy, learning about bankruptcy now. But like we just kept holding on and kept like and then we sold some stores in Missouri. And because we had 4 in Utah, 3 in Oregon, 2 in Missouri. So sold the Missouri stores, came out clean. That was great. Still getting paid to this day on that one. seller finance.
Yeah.
And so got out. And then our Oregon stores was a disaster. We lost.
Man.
We went to sell those. Everything was going to be fantastic. And I went to sell them to Marcus Lemonis. I have some choice words for him, but me and him, he accused me, like the last day when we go to close, we were going to be cash flow positive, a few $1 million. Great sale, right? Especially in the times that we're having.
Yeah.
And then he called me, I'll never forget. I was on my way to the University of Utah game, and Marcus, I have a cell phone number. If anybody wants, I'll give it to you to harass him. But he called me and started cussing me out and saying that I did all this stuff to him. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, you closed the stores and you did this and you're fraud, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why would I ever want to do that? Like, you're about to pay me an astronomical amount of money. Yeah. Why would I have any, like, this doesn't sound right. So he says I closed all the stores, called up there. Like, it's long story short, ended up not selling to him, sold to another company, negative $4 million. It was a $7 million swing, right? And all this, bought a few airplanes to charter and do that whole game, right? Because at the time we were making so much money, we needed tax mitigation. Yeah. Well, that turned into like a negative, like 400,000 a month. Then we took a freaking 4 million hit on the Gulfstream, and like that was a disaster. So dude, it's like L after L after L after L, and then it comes to probably one of the, I will say one of like the most defining moments of like my career was October 13th, Friday the 13th, 2023. I was actually in Florida negotiating the sale of our company to a multi-billion-dollar group that was going to rebrand us all, and I was going to go work for them, which I actually like wanted to, because I was like, if I just had to go work for somebody else and run the stores and not have the liability,
be that first chair.
That sounds great.
Yeah, be that first, second chair.
Sounds good to me. And then I'll figure something out, and like 100%. I'll give it a 2-year run, and I'll figure something else out, right? 100%. But I still have all the money that we had. Like I can, we'll be good. Yeah. But yeah, I was actually out there. I got a text message during the meeting of like, hey, are you on your plane yet? From my COO, CFO, and president. And I was like, no, I'm not on the plane yet. What's up? They're like, oh, nothing. Okay. Got on the plane. They're like, hey, are you flying yet? And I'm like, yeah, I'm flying. And then they both texted me and was like, we're walking out on you. We're out. We're gone. We resigned effective immediately. My whole entire executive team, whole corporate staff walked out on me.
Oh my God.
So I come back. I'm on a flight from Atlanta, right? So I landed in Atlanta. I call my CFO. He's like, yeah, man, we're out. At least he had the balls to call me. My president and CEO didn't. But yeah, so like I'm literally sitting there on an airplane. I had a guy, and like, say what you want, but like the craziest thing happened is like, we were talking about before, I think earlier today, like I know Andy Elliott. I'm sitting on the airplane. I get this random text from Andy, and it's a video of him personally saying like, hey man, I have a feeling that you're going through a bunch of crap today. I don't know why, but I'm sitting here on the beach in Cabo, and he's like, I know that you love Cabo. And he's like, I hope that Mikkel's doing okay, and hope baby's okay, because baby was just born, all these things. And like, just talking to me, like literally like as a personal video. I still have it. And he was like, I just know that like, you're going to make it through it. As I'm literally, and I'm like texting people that, hey, did you tell Andy that something happened? Because I haven't told anybody. And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, bro, you're never going to believe this. Like my whole freaking team is literally walking out on me, and I can't do anything about it. I'm sitting on a plane for the next 4 hours. Yeah. Like, I can't call anybody. I'm getting texts from my dad found out, and all my managers, and everybody's freaking out. And I'm like, it's okay. Because when it came down to it, like I'm so get it done. And like, yeah, there was a moment where we probably had $1 million bill due, and we probably had $100,000 in the bank on a good day. And I'm like, we'll figure it out. Yeah. We always did. Yeah. And like, I'm so confident in my abilities to get stuff done. Yes, I don't care what you like. I'll get it done. And we always got it done. We always paid. Like it was, at the end, it got a little sketchy, but like at the time, we were clipping along. We were doing it. 100%. And my guy that was working for me, he wouldn't. Like, he's all negative and we're going to jail. And I'm like, what are we doing illegal? We're not doing anything illegal. Like, we can't guarantee payroll. Yes, we can. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is just stupid stuff. I'm like, Kate, elementary. Kate, next problem, move on. 100%. And like, me and my dad are just freaking machines. And I'm really glad to have my dad, like, as counsel, as like a board member, to be like, hey, bro, I need you to step in and help me out, right? And so finally, and I kept telling him, dude, just leave. And he never would. And then he left, and I'm like, thank you. Like, it was meant to be. Now I get the blocker out of my way. And so I remember having a meeting at 1 o'clock in the morning when I landed, got all my managers, and I'm like, you're either with me or without me. And you're making, I'm not giving you the night to just decide. You are deciding right now. And if you're with me till the end. Yeah. And I'm like, we ride together, we die. Like, everything is right now. Yeah. Everybody,
culture camp, baby.
Yeah, everybody was like, we're in. And I was like, hey, this is what we're going to do tomorrow. screw what we were doing. I'm putting everything back in, because they call it like at store level. I can't remember what they said. Like there's two different models in RV business. It's store level and by function.
Yeah.
And it's either you run the stores as a general manager, has like a parts manager and everything like that. We ran it as more as a function where there wasn't necessarily a general manager. There was like a parts manager and all the managers. And then I had directors. Like a parts director and all the parts managers. And like, so that's how we did it. I'm like reversing the model. You guys, you're the general manager. You're the general manager. You're the general manager. We're going to crush it.
Yeah.
And like, I became a
demon,
freaking
bro.
wild man, dude. Like I remember going and meeting with another buddy of mine and like watching, and like I went to all these dealership friends that I know. I'm like, how do you operate? Because I had to go back. Like it's been so long since I kind of operated like that. And so I just went in and I'm like, I'll make it happen. And we survived. Yeah. And we made it through. We sold our Oregon stores because that was all during that transaction. So like I sold the stores October 31st, 2023. And then 2 weeks prior, the guys walked out on me. Yeah. And it was real awkward because the new buyers are like, what's going on? All this stuff. I'm like, hey, it's fine. Yeah. They're good. Yeah. We're like, let's keep rolling, bro. I need you to buy these stores, right? I remember literally working, like I worked like 94 hours straight, never slept because I had to audit over like 700,000 lines of accounting for one of the sales. And I didn't have a team, but I didn't want to tell these guys that. I had to audit personally every single line. Dude, I remember my wife was just like, what is going on? And I remember missing Halloween. Like it was during all that crazy. And so sold those stores. I closed one of the stores and up in Logan, consolidated everything, moved things around, figured out some lines, negotiated different things. Like you just like one mentor in my life is always like, look, everything's negotiable. Learning how to negotiate with banks. Like, I know I owe you millions of dollars, but here's what I'm going to do for you. And like communication, like doing all these things and like kind of funny negotiation tactics. Like I would call people and be like, it's probably TMI, but like I'd call people and be like, hey, I'm just doing a courtesy call. I know we owe you this much money. I'm just wondering if like you're willing to work with this or you're like on the work with this side. I have two columns, work with this side or bankruptcy side. And if I have more people that work with us, we're not going to claim bankruptcy. But more people that want to claim bankruptcy, I'm going to claim bankruptcy. You're going to get nothing. Yeah. Because it's an unsecured thing, right? Yeah. And learning, I had it like, and it sucks because like there are some people that are like bills we couldn't pay and things we couldn't do, but like we're out and we're good. Like we figured it all out, but like we had to do what we had to do. Yeah. Like there's nothing that I could have done to stop the crap storm that happened to the RV industry with interest rate. I thought the interest rates would go to 5%. I actually budgeted 5.5%. When they were 3.25%, I budgeted 5.5% because I thought they'd not double, but I thought they'd come up
to it.
I didn't know they'd go from 3 to 12. Yeah. I didn't know that everything would start.
Especially the RV industry. Yeah.
I mean, dude, it's freaking nuts. Yeah. And then consumers stopped buying because in a good day pre-COVID, a prime credit would get around 8.99. I think the lowest I ever saw was like 6.99, but it was must have been goofy. So generally higher interest rates than anything else, right? But when we're seeing people with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month payments on RVs, and I'm like, we're screwed. Like no one can. Like it's such a discretionary income, and like I've seen 850, 830, 820 credit scores with 6-figure incomes get denied on an RV because they never had an RV loan before. Oh, because it's such a subjective like discretionary income. Banks hate it. Yeah. You can go park it up. I mean, you go park it up in the mountains. The bank can never see it again. You stop paying on it. Well, I don't know where it's at. Yeah. Right. It's not like you use it every day.
Travel. Yeah.
And so it's tough. And so, working through all that, like that defining moment of like literally sitting on the airplane and like literally I was just like, I don't know, like what am I supposed to do? My whole team is gone. Like, and they were in the business every single day. But it definitely showed me what I was capable of. Yeah. And like, dude, I'm like 190 pounder. Now I got down to 150 pounds. I'm literally like working every day, all day, 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. Like didn't eat, didn't sleep, had no relationship with my wife. Like, and I told her, I was like, I'm not going to see you for like 6 months, but I got to do what I got to do. Yeah. Luckily she's amazing. I was like, hey, do what you got to do. Yeah. And got out of there October 31st. I ended up leaving and resigning as this, because there was eventually a time where I had felt like I had ridden as long as I possibly could and the most favors I possibly could in the industry. So I stepped down actually in June of 24 last year. Got a guy running the stores, which is drama in itself, but like had the guy running the stores and I kind of just took a backseat to marketing and I didn't go to the stores anymore. They had guys running, everything was, they did their thing. Because I had called too many favors. And so I'm like, look, let me be the scapegoat. Just say, Jason didn't know what he's doing. Negotiate some better deals. I don't care. Like that's how little I care about, I guess that's how self-confident I am and like little I care what people think about me because I'm like, look, use me as a scapegoat for I don't care.
Well,
like I care more about the
whatever you
success
gotta
of the
be,
business and like not losing me and my dad's investment. Just do you, right?
You be whatever you gotta be.
And so did that and then officially left October 31st and sold out and I actually ended up selling everything to my dad, like signing everything to my dad. And then he ended up selling it 6 months later. And then I kind of just was like, I just kind of reset, it's so crazy, man. Like life is nuts because like I was so busy, doing all those things and it kind of like abruptly ended, which was fantastic because I was like, this is never going to end. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right. And I'm still kicking myself in the foot, man. I remember back in 21, I got over $30 million cash offer for our stores. I turned it down. But at the time I'm like, that's only a couple years earnings. Like, it's not a great offer. Well, yeah, I wish I had the money. Take the money, guys. But it's crazy how like everything kind of came to abrupt end and like, or not really abrupt end, but like it came to an end. And like, I remember like waking up like the next day and being like, my email shut off, like everything on it. I'm like, this is crazy. And like, granted, I still haven't made any money for years. And I've spent a lot of money and like through all of this, like we were building a big, beautiful custom home, lost it because I was like, baby, if we buy the house, can't guarantee our future. I don't know what it's going to look like. We need the money. But if we stop today, we may lose a few $100,000, but I can guarantee that we're going to be okay for the rest of our life. Because that's one thing, like learning about business and like fixed costs and things like that. And I talk about fixed costs, semi-fixed costs, and more financial, but like it also reminds me of the plane days. But it's like, me and my wife's expenses are like $3,000 a month. Yeah. We own all of our cars. We own all of our stuff. I mean, we have a mortgage on our house. We're it's a 2% interest rate. And like, dude, I could go get a job at Walmart and be okay. Yeah. And so that's where I'm very thankful that me and her didn't go do all of these things. And like, I kind of wish I would have went and bought more things because I could have sold them and probably recouped the money. Yeah. But it's like, I invested in some dumb investments and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm super proud that like, yeah, we had a plane only for business. The moment we stopped using the plane, got rid of the plane because I don't care. Yeah. But it's kind of funny because we talk about players and non-players. Like players were like, yeah, dude, get rid of the freaking plane. Like that's why I sold mine. It's sucking money out.
And we don't use it anymore. Like, no.
The players like, bro, what are we going to do? How are we going to go to Vegas? I'm like, Delta first class or Delta comfort? Yeah, exactly. You're like, middle seat is the same
Provo
thing.
Airport, bro.
Right? Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, we got Breeze Airways. South going to be Allegiant. Like, and it's kind of funny because like, 20 to 30 was such a crazy wild time in my life of like the glitz, the glam, had out everything. And then like my mindset of like hanging out with real players and like going through what I went through and like then hearing, and it's kind of frustrating because you ever read the book by Jim Collins, Good to Great? Yes. Every freaking business goes through this. And it pisses me off. It's like, why did I have to go through this?
It's all familiar stories. Right. You know what I mean? We can all relate to it.
I'm sitting here around with like guys that are multi-billionaires and it's like, everybody has the same story. Yeah. Everybody goes through crap. And a lot of the time, like I'm very blessed and super grateful, as morbid and weird as it sounds, that it happened early on in age. Yeah. That I can adjust, I can pivot, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah. And like, and then finding out what really means a lot to me is my family and like being there for my daughter. She's 2 years old and doing those things with her and being with my wife. And like, I'd rather go spend $5,000 on a Disney, or $10,000 on a Disney vacation, or like go to there than being like, oh, I'm going to buy another watch or do all these things. Like I mean, I'm wearing my watch today, but like I rock my Apple Watch every day. And like, I think my mindset, like I sold my Corvette and the next day bought a house and then doubled my money. And it's like, I could have bought 2 Corvettes now. Yeah. So it's like my mindset's so shifted that way, maybe too extreme, but like now I'm just like, how can every dollar come back to me? Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you might like, I totally get like buying stuff and like, the lifestyle definitely is an investment, so people see like that you're not a bum, right? Because I still run into that of like, you say that you're all these things and like your office looks like that, and I'm like, I get it. Like it's not the best office, but it does what it's supposed to do, right? Yeah. But it's like my mindset and like learning all of those things has just it's so different now. Yeah. And it's cool to have gone through that and learned all those lessons to be able to take those to our ventures company and to be so much more disciplined and be like, because I saw some people and like friends of mine, and I actually just he called me randomly on Saturday. He's done about 800 million in sales in his RV stores. Great dude. Has a bigger real estate portfolio than dealerships. Like he owns basically an entire city, which is like literally like the downtown of this city. I think he owns every building. Yeah. But it's cool to hear him. Like He kept over $100 million on hand.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, yeah, I wish that I would have done that and like not went and bought other stores and like learning, like, do you go wide or do you go deep? Like I should have, like the most profitable we ever were was with 3 stores doing 100 million a year was with 3 stores. To put in perspective, like everything changed. We were at 9 stores. We still did 110.
Yeah.
So did it actually do anything to grow? No, but I was so caught up in this stupid cycle of I have to buy more stores to get people to think that we're growing and the company wants to grow. And it's like, we should have just focused.
Stayed lean and mean
And then focused on the stores. And like each individual store, it's like, did we max them out? No.
Yeah.
Did we do everything we could to do? No. I was so focused on growing that like we didn't have enough time to take care of home. Right. Yeah. And that's where now, like, I have to be careful too, because that's my personality, as you can see with our friggin' every company that we own now. But I'm like, now I'm like so intentional of how I operate them and who I have running them.
Yeah.
And then the systems and processes, who I learned from a good friend, Eddie Wilson, about creating those systems to be able to run the companies and to make sure that they're all good. And then having businesses that don't have massive costs, right? Like the RV business, like, sucked because you'd sell overhead was wild. And like the inventory is financed. So you sell $100,000 rig, you might owe 90 on it. So you get 100K in, then you got to pay out 90. So now you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, just moving cash flow around. Yeah. You have 24 hours to pay that unit off, or else you start to get in a lot of trouble with the bank. When that starts to go 10 days and 30 days, like you're cut off. Like, because you're obviously operating on their cash, right? They hate that. And so very intentional businesses now, and like learning how to run lean and mean, and like I have learned how to do a bunch of stuff on my own. Like I've created my own executive assistants through AI. I coded our own AI. I created a bunch of stuff like feeding learning models and learning, like machine learning, to be able to help the RV. And like I've done a bunch of stuff that's like, we could just do this a little different and save money. Yeah. And it's like, now it's like, if I can save $5, I want to save $5 because it adds up. Yeah. You know? It's just, I'm super, super thankful that I learned all those lessons early on, and now I can take them through the rest of my life.
Dude, and like this has been gas, bro. Like I appreciate you sharing, and like I feel like this story epitomizes like one of the most, like, people don't realize this until you go through it. The most valuable like asset that you were building the whole time is yourself. Right. Right. And to your point, like now, and that's really where I define real players and non-players. Real players, you got to ask yourself, can you rebuild it? Right. You know, and learn from the mistakes of what you did in the first one and build something better. And that's what a real player is. And I just do that. Like, there's so much gold in there, and I just appreciate you sharing. We always get to this point of the podcast, the very end, where really, and you highlighted very articulately, you know, that no rescue moment of you being on the plane, your executive team walking out, the people that are watching this, right? The entrepreneur that's in that moment, right? What is your number one piece of advice?
Dude, never forget, like, always say, like, if it is to be, it's up to me. And I had to remind myself that every single day. And like, even my wife, like, there's no one coming to save me. And as an entrepreneur, like, it's a very thankless job. It's a very dark job. There's a dark side to entrepreneurship that 100%. People just need to, you have to accept it. You can't fight it. Yeah. The more you fight it, the more you're going to hate entrepreneurship, and it's going to eat at you. Like me, I'm kind of weird. Like, I love problems. Like back in the, like when we first bought our dealership, our parts manager, who eventually was the gentleman who was my president COO, he left one time on a trip, and literally it's like the dealership caught on fire. No one knew how to do anything. We don't know how to do payroll. And I'm like, this is awesome. And everybody's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, it exposed every problem. 100%. Right. Yeah. But I like view that as an opportunity to get better. Yeah. Some people fight it. Some people like they raises their stress level. It like lowers my cortisol. I don't know. But like it lowers my stress of like, how can we fix this? Yeah. And how can we never have, like, I always say that success and failures of the businesses cannot rise and fall on one person. And so like, if your business is rolling through that, like, you have to figure that out. And if you're one of those people that are like, it all runs through you, okay, like that may be. Or if you're like, oh, I go on vacation and like my whole business shuts down, like, we figured out. But like, if it is to be, it's up to me. No one is going to come save you. It's an island. And we're like, everybody struggles. We're seeing it like 3 years ago, a lot of private jets on Instagram, a lot of Lambos, a lot of stuff, and it's gotten a little bit quiet.
100%.
No one wants to talk about it. Dude, I'll wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I always say, like I always go console with people and be like, what do you have that no one else has? Like I lost $20 million.
Yeah.
No one's going to come in here and tell you that how, like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not broke.
Yeah.
But I'm not flying around on a jet anymore. But like, again, I don't care. But like, again, don't have a business that I need to do that with.
And you'll get it back.
Yeah, I'll get it
You're
back.
confident,
Yeah. And but even learning that, like, there's other ways to do that. Which maybe purchasing one is not the best way to do that. But it's like just keep learning and keep pushing, because like everybody, it's kind of a cliche, but like everybody quits right before the success. But it's like you're always going to guarantee a loss if you quit. And it's like there is going to be success in your industry. There's going to be someone that dominates. There's going to be, like, right now the economy is questionable. There's a pie of market share. It's 100% up to you how much market share you go grab.
Yep.
They always say the rich get richer in harder times. It's because they intentionally go grab market share.
Yeah.
They have intentional acquisitions. They do a bunch of, like, that's why, like, the Buffetts of the world, they bank their cash. They don't really buy a lot of stuff in the good times, because the bad times they're doing intentional strategic acquisitions.
Yep.
So right now you have a pie, and it's like, I'm going to, like, if it is to be, it's up to me. If you want X amount of that pie, go make it happen.
Yeah.
Get scrappy, figure it out, be intentional with everything you do. Get the right mentors, right partnerships, right agency, right whatever that is. Like, just go make it happen. Sorry, that was a little bit long, but it's like, dude, there is nothing you can't do as but you have to have that vivid obsession of the craziness that you can do it.
Yeah.
And like, maybe because I've seen that success, I've been all these places, I've done all these things. It's like, there is no question in my mind that I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm just maybe a different vehicle than I used to be. Okay. Like, my ego, I have no ego. Like, check the ego out the door, right? Like, I don't care. Like, you saw my office, like,
yeah.
I'd like, okay, like I don't care. Like, I dirty truck because I'm at job sites. Like, I'm the one dumping the freaking dump trailers that dump all the time. But like, my goal is like, hey, I always feel like my job is to set people up for success.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, I'll go do the dirty things that no one else will, because it's just what it takes. So,
dude, Jason, this has been like one of my favorites. Like, I appreciate you.
I mean, there's a lot, man. Thank you.
And I feel like we could be here for 2 hours. Bro.
Yeah, no, and sorry.
I mean,
my worst thing is, like, I can talk forever.
Yeah. No, and I genuinely, I appreciate your time and your energy. Like, this is, like, these stories, these moments, I think this is what No Rescue is about, because it also allows people that are struggling with that confidence, struggling of like belonging, imposter syndrome, to realize like we're all the same.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're all the same. We're all playing the same game.
No, and thank you for like doing this, right? Because it's something that people struggle with. It's something that I struggle with. Like, I'm over here like flying around on a plane thinking like, oh, like I'm not this, like all these different things. But it's like, when it comes back to it, it's like, just find out what makes you happy.
100%.
And like lean into that and just be happy and do things for yourself and like for your family and for like the betterment of you. Right?
Absolutely.
Like, there are some times when it's kind of good to be selfish and like have that confidence of like, oh, I kind of am like you were telling me about your partner, and I'm like, yeah, like he should be over here teaching seminars, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It's just thank you. Like, thank you for coming out with this, and like I hope this semi helps someone. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve, because I don't feel like everything is a part of the story. Yeah. And it's like, if you don't want to be friends with me because like I literally sold the plane, half my friends gone.
That's
crazy.
Wild.
Dude, and like some people that like I flew to their birth, like I did stuff for them all, like
that's
never
wild.
talked to them again.
Yeah.
Literally haven't talked to them since.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, okay. And so it's like that I was probably one harder moments of like
realization.
I am done trying to spend all my time like feeding into people that never feed me back.
Yeah.
And never giving. So I'm going to tighten my circle, and I'm going to surround myself with people that feed. It's a two-way street, right? Like, it's almost like a marriage. It's 100%, right? It's not a, when Jason's conveniently flying here, jump on the plane, you know? So that was So again, thank you.
I appreciate it. This has been a blast. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do for your business. And I'm excited to see what's next in the chapter, brother.
Yeah, no, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Appreciate you.
Sponsored by Prado. Flavored protein. not protein flavored. Discover our 20 plus luxury flavors at protoshop.com.